Hey, and welcome guys. Today I am not doing a build. I'm in the middle of a project. It's coming along, but it's still probably a week or two away from being finished and having that one. So in the meantime, I thought I would just do a quick review of a kit I recently purchased. Actually, it's two kits, and I'll get into that in just a minute. But before I get started, I just want to give a shout out to another fellow YouTuber. He does a lot of reviews of kits and builds, a lot of science fiction, a lot of figures and things of that nature. So just check out Mr. BM Builder's channel. A lot of my builds have come from watching his review of different kits, and appreciate it. He's always been very supportive of my channel, but so check him out. He has a good channel with a lot of reviews and builds of different things. So just moving on, just recently purchased this Rogers Starfighter from Monogram. Now these things are getting very expensive. I finally found one. As you can tell, it's kind of beat up. The package was opened. There was a slight issue with it. I'll talk about that in just a minute. But these things are really getting expensive. So I finally found one that I was willing to pay for. Still spent a lot more than I should have for a 30-plus-year-old model kit in this kind of condition here. I'm not worried about the box. I do intend on building it, so to me the box isn't that important, but I've seen the ones that are still sealed in the plastic are going for over $200, so quite expensive. So I'm glad to get my hands on one. But also, at the same time, I got this garage kit, and this is a resin Rogers Starfighter kit. So I just want to kind of compare the two. If you're thinking about getting it, this is an option. It's a little bit cheaper, and it's pretty much, as you're going to see, I'm pretty sure they based it off this kit. They're pretty much identical, other than this one being a plastic and this one's resin. There are some minor differences. So we'll just open this up real quick. Now it says it comes in off-white. I don't think it was this color 30 years ago, maybe, I don't know. You know, it's from the Rogers show. I remember when it came out. I watched it as a young boy. You know, it was a science fiction show. It had spaceships and that nature of it. Just didn't quite catch on like some of the other shows. But this is one of the ships that was really cool. It still has a great design. I think it still stands up today as having a really cool design to it. And so as you can see, it's a fairly simple kit. Now the issue I've had is this was an open box. As you can see, the instructions are still here, but man, they are almost, well, they're falling apart, but they're still here, and there's really not a whole lot to the build. So even if I didn't have them, I'm sure I could probably figure this stuff out. Now we were missing one part, and that was there was two of these. These are the engine nozzles that go, or the nozzles that go inside the engine casings, which is fine because I don't plan on using them. I do intend on at least lighting the engines, maybe some cockpit lighting when I do get to the build, but so I won't be using that part at all. So that kind of worked out for me. Everything else seems to be there. We still have the decals. I'm not sure how they still look intact. We'll try to use them. If not, we may have to order some new ones. We have the clear glass, which has a lot of scuffs on it. I don't know if it's showing through. We could probably polish that out. I don't know. The thing is that you know, like with a lot of the Star Wars kits, I don't even prefer using that. So just make it easier not to use that. Just paint over it and leave that the way it is, so you can see the cockpit. Now the cockpit is not accurate. I believe in the show there was like a second seat back here, and it was just seated differently. Now, one thing I failed to mention, this is, I believe, 1/35th scale, or supposed to be. I watched a few videos, and there is some aftermarket cockpit replacements that actually have the double seats, but they actually kind of work out more to a 1/48 scale, and you can actually get the 1/48 scale Rogers that fits in there much nicely. Sits more upright, and you have a much more defined control panel or instrument panel. So I'm not sure. I did order a 1/35th Rogers. You can get on eBay. You can still get the Rogers or the Wilma Deering, I believe, Captain Deering, forget her rank, figures that will fit in here. So I did order one of those. So I'll probably just go that route with it. But pretty basic. Still has some nice detail. It's not raised detail. It's all inset. So let's take a look at the resin kit real quick. I'll open this up. Now the resin kit is construction is a lot different. This is one solid piece of resin. Now this resin kit I got for $55 and it was $10 shipping, so $65 for this resin kit. And it's pretty sure that they've did the mold just based off of the Monogram kit. The details are virtually the same. Even the cockpit details are the same if you look at them, same size. It was sitting there. If you take this part right here, you can see how it fits exactly over all the panel lines are basically. I did find some minor differences in it. Again, this is one solid piece of resin. Now this does come with a detachable cockpit. This one's built in, and the cockpit is plastic. It's not resin, so they include a plastic cockpit, so you can cut this away and expose the cockpit, and that would fit over in there. Some of the other things they include is the engine nozzles are a solid piece of resin. You have the weapons pods, I guess, that are solid resin pieces that you would have to glue on. It's like they just kind of split up the molds a little bit, because those are kind of separate parts. One thing that this kit does have a nice decals for you. The one thing this kit includes, it does include the pilot, the Buck Rogers pilot, and I believe this is pretty much what I ordered off eBay. I ordered a second one of these. This kit includes it. The resin kit includes the little pilot, so there's no added expense. When you order these off eBay, they run about $10 to come in, so I had to put an extra $10 above what I already paid for the kit for that. So you do get a, it needs a lot of cleanup. There's a lot of flash on them. I believe he is plastic. I don't believe he is resin. But we'll clean him up. But that's a nice included thing. We also have some landing gear, which I'm not sure that this one comes with. No, I don't believe that this kit comes with some landing. So this one actually includes landing gear, so you can put it into a landing mode, I guess. Looks like there's an indentation that's not on the other one. So there are some minor differences. You have some advantages. Now, as far as building these, the advantage is that this one's going to be, I'm going to be able to light this one, at least the engines, and maybe some cockpit lighting. That's pretty much out of the question here. This is a solid piece of resin. You know, I think you would just absolutely destroy this trying to put some lights in there. You possibly could drill out some holes, and if you're really gifted and all that kind of stuff, or know what you're doing. I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not going to destroy this. So this one would just be a build and paint. It would be nice. Maybe we'll put it in a landing position since they give us landing gear, but this one will, obviously we'll put it in a flying configuration with some engine lights and stuff like that. So anyway, if you think about getting one of these kits are getting very expensive, but this is a cheaper option. I mean, $65 is still a little bit to pay for a model, but it is a resin kit. You know, just as I'm pretty sure it was a garage kit, just came in a box. There were no instructions included. I think you can still find these on eBay fairly easily, but it is pretty much the same thing. So anyway, hope that helps out if you're looking for one of these. A couple of options, and thank you for tuning into the videos. Hopefully in my next video we'll be back to a build that I'm working on. And until next time, everybody have a good one.